Good evening, everyone. I welcome all our esteemed guests today and the author of the day, Ashfaq Ahmed. On behalf of Griffin Publication, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to launch a very bold and thought-provoking book. And the name of the book is Overleap All Constraints by, again, a very brilliant and fearless author, Ashfaq Ahmed. Before we move ahead, I wish to introduce our esteemed guest today. Agnivesh Mahapatra will join. He is a popular poet. He is an author. He is a speaker and a life coach. When he comes, definitely we'll speak about him. We have Joginder Rohilla today. He's an entrepreneur and a best-selling author. He is again a fitness enthusiast. He is also a leadership coach. So welcome Joginder to our show to launch a budding author's book. We have Partha Prawal here. He is again a very popular journalist. He has given his life to journalism. It's been years. And again, he is a very bold and fearless author. You must read his book. He will speak about it, and the book actually gave thoughts, to many curious readers. His title itself is very fearless, and the book is book will force you to think about it, what the title is. We'll speak about it later. We have Vedant Saxena with us today. Again, welcome Vedant. He is a best-selling author of many books, and he is also a psychologist. So we have to measure and speak in front of him today, Ashfaq. He can catch us. He can catch, Ashfaq, your thoughts behind this book and all. Right? So before we move ahead, Ashfaq, first question to you, how are you feeling today? And can you just briefly speak about your book so that our guests, get an idea about your book? Yes, Ashfaq.
Okay, I'm feeling good today. It's immense pleasure for having all the guests here. Thank you for coming. And the book is all about. I just started to think to write about um, the darker section, which people usually doesn't talk about. I used to read a lot of novels in mostly. I'm sorry, mostly written by. There are no many. What to say? Uh, Prominent novelist from South, I guess. Everybody is from North right now, currently. So I used to read about them, and nobody talks about the darker side of the society, like prostitution or LGBTQ, that we or any other thing, or the mob lynching that is happening in India, or nothing like that. So I want to talk about everything in one story. So this is actually like anthology, like so much of story. Whenever a girl is like a girl is Ramya, the protagonist of the novel, is meeting someone new, they have a bit of story in their life. So in that way, I have covered all my angers and whatever I have to tell, and whatever I thought of telling, I just said them all. That's what I guess. It's like bunch of stories.
And Ashfaq, this book is described as something society told you not to write, or society tells us not to write. What was the first moment like you thought that, I have to write this? You decided to write,
Mm.
and you will write it anyhow anyway.
Yeah, I thought like uh, people would be like there are many people out there calling themselves a feminist until a woman opens up her bottle of liquor or uh, starts smoking cigarette, and then they'll tell that like I support feminism, and I don't support them drinking or smoking. And Mike, I first thought that okay, that is actually feminism. That is actually right. How can you support someone causing themselves hurt by drinking or smoking? I thought that, but then I thought that it is completely their wish. They drink, if they drink even poison, not poison, I'm sorry, even if they drink for like one full bottle or she smokes for an entire day, it's her reason, it's her decision at the end of the day. So I thought that I want to put a story which is like completely uh, for free decision, free rights. So I thought like nobody is talking about it. I think in my state, ideologically, a person is there who who pays off that to a political big parties from is called Ivera Periyar. So he was the one person who talked about it 100 years back. So he was an inspiration to write this book actually. So I hope that not even a one uh, sentence or a word is against a free will of a person. That is very important. Like the the first stone thrown at democracy or the free will or any of the opinion is actually not to make you think. That's where the fascism starts. So that's where the right wing, extreme neo right wing starts. So I think that's what made me to write what they asked not me to write.
Thank you so much. You have wonderfully explained this. I welcome our esteemed guest, Agnivesh Mahapatra. He is where I request you, sir, to, yes, switch on your video. Yes, welcome. And I just told you, Agnivesh Mahapatra is a very popular poet, author. You can find him writing free verse and rhyming. I am fond of his poems actually, and he is an eminent speaker and a life coach. So we have all, very eminent personalities today who can guide us through the way of writing, books. When Joginder, you just heard Ashfaq, when you see about the bold, pen, and do you feel that the society still, in India specifically, restricts us from, penning down the facts or the things which the society does not want us to see or speak of? And do you think the society actually welcomes, such books?
Thank you, Mosmi. First of all, Ashfaq, many congratulations. I'm sure
Thanks a lot.
it's an overwhelming, feeling when your, book gets published and seeing those words coming into a book. It's a wonderful moment of life. Okay, so I could, think about my book when it gets launched and all. And wonderful day for you. All best wishes. I wish that it goes to like thousands of people and millions of people. And I think that's every writer's wish, right? Okay. And coming to the question, Mosmi, definitely, I think as an author and somebody who writes, I believe that we carry that responsibility, right? We carry that responsibility to speak about things which are happening in society with a true essence. Whatever we are feeling, let it come to the words and let it reach to people. Okay. And when it comes to our society in India, so definitely there are whenever there is something, how to say it, in a way that then when there is a spark, people try to not let it become a fire. Okay, so that happens a lot. So I believe that every author, everybody who wants to see a change in any way, ओके वेदर इट्स वो विचार के लेवल पे हो सकता है, वो एक क्रांति भी हो सकती है, कुछ भी होती है, बट ऑल स्टार्ट्स विद अ थॉट, राइट? एंड एवरीबडी थोड़ा सोशल स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा है कि उसको दबाने की कोशिश की जाती है, राइट? व्हेन एंड देन somebody comes forward, write it all about, take it to people. I think, I believe that's the responsibility, and that's how we should take it forward, okay, in any possible way, whether it can be in any media form. Book is definitely a wonderful thing, which we all carry, like sab jo yahan pe hain, we all are related to books. So wonderful effort, and again, best wishes, Ashfaq, and doing something which society doesn't support in a way कि वैचारिक जहाँ पे नहीं हो पाता है, but still somebody comes forward and write. And I'll say that there are people who want it. Okay, so and it is much needed, especially when I see our Indian society, जहाँ पे ये चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा काफ़ी कुछ रोका जाता है, new things are not still talked in open, right? And it's I think high time that we come out, we break all the barriers, okay, and then talk about it open, and that will definitely help whole society to grow, right? Yeah, that's 2 cents from me, Mosmi. Thank you.
So much, Joginder. Well put. Partha, you are a journalist and you are yourself a fearless, author. Like we have read your book. It's on pedophile, or how you presented the story boldly. Many in fact told like, what kind of a title is it? And in fact, so how do you take an author who puts an effort to put out the facts which the society tries to pull back. And do you think that our society really, accepts? And if not, will the authors get, discouraged, or how can we motivate such authors who really want to write bold facts of the society?
First of all, thank you, Mosami, for having me here, and congratulations, Ashfaq, for your first book. I mean, I can gauge the feeling that you're going through. Mosami, as far as your first part of your question is concerned, that speaking boldly about things that society don't speak, or yeah, that I mean, I'll just give one example that we all know who Zubin Garg is. We all have heard his songs. I'm not talking about the Hindi songs that he has sung, the songs in Assamese. His songs were all regarding for the people, for against the atrocities of the society, atrocities of the upper class, and he was accepted, and he has been accepted by the greater Assamese society. And we all saw how people gathered on his death, what impact he has. So, I mean, that answers your questions very well. That yes, if
And he, in fact, questioned the entire political system.
yes. So whatever he felt is wrong is wrong. So I mean, what I mean to say is that whatever thoughts and feelings we have, if it is in raw format, if it is in a very what they call it is that some may call it stupid as well, idiotic as well, but we must express it because as uh, Sir has just said, we never know how words can touch people, how words can change, because one word, one person, one event is enough to start an entire revolution. And to write about things that the society generally don't accept is a challenge in itself, because when we talk about society, you are a part of the society, I am a part of the society. We all have grown up seeing our elders, our friends, the society the way it is. I mean, if Ashfaq has thought of writing something, he was also a part of that society. So to detach himself from the society, to has his own thoughts, to has his own idea, his own belief system is a big thing. I mean, that's a big thing for any person, any author, any writer, any creative person, anybody. And regarding my book that you have asked, is that yeah, many people told me that the title autobiography of a pedophile is just a marketing gimmick, and I just told them that if that is fine, that I would be the highest selling author of the world, which is actually not. So it depends upon how people take your thing, how they accept it, but somebody will not, but that does not mean that we should not speak the things that speak the things that we have in our mind, in our heart. Sometimes it may challenge the set societal norms. That's it.
Thank you so much, Partha. So well put. I'll come to Vedant. Before coming to Vedant and Mahapatra, sir, Ashfaq,
Yes, ma'am.
the title,
Yeah,
Overleap All Constraints, is
yeah,
powerful and layered. What does
yeah.
it really mean to you, and what inspired you to set the story in the heart of Madras, a city with such a complex, mix of culture, conservatism, and rebellion? Why Madras? And the people of Madras, or rather South, they have a mixed culture. So how, what inspired you to set up the story there in Madras?
It's very basic that I grew up in Madras from the birth to till now. I'm in Chennai, so I just want to write. But my second story is actually happening in Delhi because I was in Delhi for 2 years. So I don't want to get explored in a place which I don't know about. So each street name, every shop name in the corner of the street, everything I know about Chennai. So in the book, you can feel the hard presence of Madras glorifying everywhere. Not glorifying, I would say. I would say that you can notice the small, even a small title street name of Madras there in the book. So I just wrote from my perspective because I am from there. That's it.
Okay, and the book is unapologetically bold, both in narrative and cover also.
Okay.
our esteemed guest have, seen. Did you ever feel fear or hesitation while writing it? Was there, any point where you thought this might be too much for riddles to handle?
Okay. First of all, like when they see the book cover, they think that this is mostly about passion. This is actually a passionate book. Actually, it's not. When you open and read it, like there is no passionate scenes except two or three, which has to be there in the story when the story requires. And that too, I just spoke it like polishedly, not intensely. But what I thought is like, okay, three women, they're happy, they're staying together, they're having relationships, and why don't I put that when you are when you are like having intimacy, or when you're in home, just I just used to wear boxes, that's it. So how a woman will be like there in the house, like she will be like free, she'll be like, I don't want to put a dress or sari to her, as such she's when she's laughing or when she's celebrating uh Holi inside the house. I don't want to put that. I just want to make it normal. And I don't think if audience is thinking that it's because of marketing gimmick, then they can go into the book and they can read it. There is nothing such that. But I just want to put it bold. If you are saying not to this cover picture, then I will put it yes. If you are
Vedant, you are a best-selling author. You are a psychologist also. And if you really study the minds of the readers today or the society today, and being an author yourself, do you feel that, bold covers, actually those are taken as marketing gimmick, or do authors have the freedom to use bold covers, and, publishers do have the freedom to accept such, books?
So yeah, first of all, I would like to congratulate Ashfaq. It's a
thank you.
it's a brilliant feeling to launch your first book. I still remember, 6 years back when I was, at your place launching my first book, and it was so overwhelming for me. So yeah, kudos to you. And I would like to congratulate Mosmi as well, because it's a very big responsibility to, like put such a book out, such a very bold and, very inspiring book out. So yeah, publishers do not usually take such kind of books forward. They are very skeptic about it. So yeah, kudos to Mosmi as well. And coming back to your question, Mosmi, so while I launched my book, I have always been very calculative about the covers, because, like in Indian society where reading is, very restricted in a way, because, people usually go with the, like cover and, what is the outside, not what's inside. So I have always been very, like calculative that, what should I put and what should I not. And I wanted to be, a bit of bold, like while launching my, like, couple of books that I have written. But the thing was, my publishers and my thoughts clashed, because, they thought that, it wouldn't work because of the mindset of the people. But uh, see, I have always been a rebellion, and it's good to, hear Ashfaq's thought as well. And I could, like really gauge out that, Ashfaq is a rebellion as well. So it's good to see that people are coming out and trying out new things, and also publishers like you yourself are appreciating them and supporting them as well. But somewhere I think Indian society has a lot to go forward, especially the reader circle. If like if these bold covers are coming from a Western author, like like a prominent author, they would welcome it with open hands. But when a new Indian author, like someone whom they should support, when they try out these things, they take it in a very criticizing way. We can take example of Chetan Bhagat, like he set up all the like like reading habits in Indians, and we keep on criticizing him. So I think, like as a society, we have a lot to grow, we have a lot to adapt, and we have a lot to learn. While we can, like while we are, chasing the Western culture, their dressing style, how they eat and how they, like do things, why not we adapt the thinking style as well? Why not, we welcome new authors like Ashfaq, who has a lot to say, who has a lot to, like give to our Indian society. So yeah, I think it's a very bold move, and I hope it works. I hope you sell a lot of books, and it becomes a benchmark for other writers as well.
Thank you so much, Vedant. Yes, Mahapatra sir, Agnivesh Mahapatra, we keep on seeing you on the stage, launching books, speaking to the society, speaking to the students, writing all, genres of poetry. How do you see today the young, the budding authors, when they come up with the bold writing, when they come up with bold covers? Do you think, yes, there are books, those have faced actually restrictions from the publisher. Even when I welcomed Ashfaq's book, I was questioned by many that what kind of book are you I was questioned. Is this you who, that, what do you think? I was actually questioned. Like, did you design the cover page, cover page? How could you do so? Why are you publishing such books? But nobody actually knew what is inside the book. So what do you have to say this? On this in this situation?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone, and very thank you to Mosmi for having me here. And Ashfaq, hearty
Sir.
congratulations to you on the launch of your book.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
It's an amazing feeling to have your first book in your hand and just go through the process, just processing your emotions right there, right? So, well, Mosmi, coming to it, as far as bold subjects are concerned, well, we have had these kind of bold subjects in literature. Maybe not in the mainstream, but even then you had someone like an Ismat Chugtai writing a lihaf, right? Long back. And you have many examples, like you have Rajkamal Chaudhary's Machli Mari Hui. And even today we have these queer literature related works from Jerry Pinto, even Megha Majumdar, and a lot of people are coming up with these kind of works. But yes, whether the society accepts it, and as you said, the cover of the book, well, it kind of speaks a lot of things about the book, the contents of the book. Maybe in a way, it can be kind of, shocking for someone and maybe appealing for someone. It can drag the reader to just explore what inside the book. So yes, we have issues. The public, when you talk about the normal reader, what do the people expect? They expect certain things which a writer is supposed to be tied down or boxed into a category where he is only supposed to write the nicer things or the goody stuff that we see in the society. Now that's not always true. We as writers are, we are responsible. It's an utmost responsibility for us to look at the things which are under the radar, things which are, found in the crevices and corners of our cities and the villages. So what Ashfaq writes in this book, well, I don't think it's something new. It is there in the society. It's not something like he's writing a fantasy book. He has turned into someone like a Tolkien and created things out of his head. It's not like that. So there are some facts which we take up and give it a shape of a fiction. So yes, I'll say people are coming up with these stories, and it's a good thing. It's really, really an amazing thing when we see people coming up with these stories and covers. Well, that's a publicist's challenge to design that cover, and kudos to you for coming up with it. I'm very happy because it's a striking one. It's a striking one. You look at the cover and it hits you. Okay, it appeals to you, and you're caught in the cover. So maybe it tempts you to go what's behind the cover, what's inside the book. And I hope most people will take that line and give Ashfaq's book a read. I suppose it's a wonderful book. And again, my heartiest congratulations to Ashfaq and wishing the book a very, very wider readership.
Partha wanted to share something, but before that, I want to ask Ashfaq, how do you want to read, especially women, or, to feel after reading Overall Constraints, empowered, provoked, or liberated? How do you want, specifically, how do you want a women should accept it, feel after reading this book? Like, women should, feel empowered, provoked, or liberated?
Okay, I am not anybody, or anybody is not anybody who should say a woman how she should read, because it's completely her decision. And moreover, I expect if a woman reader is reading this book, I expect her to come and throw a stone at me and tell you're wrong, because I really want that, because like nobody if somebody is coming and saying I'm a Marxist, and if you ask them, did you finish all the Marx books? Like Marxism is like reading for lifelong about Marx. That is Marxism. So same way, the feminism is actually, if you read like 5 to 6 feminine books, the feminist books, and it doesn't mean you know all about feminism. It's like lifelong journey. It's like that. So I think a woman can accept it. Some women wantedly keep them in under the shelter, and they don't want to come out of the shelter. They might find it difficult, but I just wrote it on very open note. I just bought. I just made my protagonist to. She's a Dalit woman, and from her village. She went to begging around Chennai, and then to a revolutionary through a help of a friend who is actually a journalist like Partha sir, uh, a bold one who is supportive. And I just showed a revolutionary character, and finally she will tell that I'm not a I'm a communist too, because I don't want to be in that. Either I don't want to be in that sector also. So I think, like, yeah, women, their perspective differs, man. So I can't go and tell a woman that this is how you should write. I know whatever she wish, she can tell to me, and she can throw.
Here you told me about the women. The story revolves around three women who breaks every stereotype. And were these women inspired by real people, or are they entirely fictional representation of women that represent the society, or from rebellion, or like it's simply truth or just fiction? That's a curiosity, actually.
Yeah, okay. Uh, the third woman who comes, Nancy, the third woman who's a transgender, is actually it's a real character of my friend who is a transgender, and Ramya is like it's just a spark which came to my mind. That's it. I just wrote, and when I wrote about the character of Nadia, I thought of imagining about some many journalists who are very bold and who questioned the current government and got out of the channel and running their own YouTube channels. Many authors like that. So that's it. That's it, ma'am.
Partha, you like I saw your hand. You wanted to share something, Partha.
No,
Just
no.
told that bold journalists putting forth, no, speaking against government or whatsoever, the bold voice.
No. My thing was that when we are talking about the cover, I think I was also one of those who asked you about the cover.
Right.
That I was really, when I saw it, then I told, oh, what's this? So it's a striking cover. That's all I wanted to say at that time. Nothing.
Okay. So before, last question to Ashfaq, it's time to launch the book and congratulate the author of the day. But, I have been watching the sales. The book is accepted by the people. We have got good reviews. People are buying the book. But, Ashfaq, how have people till now around you, maybe your friends, family, or critics, reacted to the book's boldness? And if
Okay.
there would be some controversy, how would you respond?
And I am that one person in family, in the whole family, who the whole family thinks that he's a mad person. And among the friends, like, I am the one person who everybody thinks that, oh, he's like a different person, don't go around him. But like, even my parents, like, they don't even talk to me. Like, even if they talk, I just put on the headphones and I start eating something. I don't respond to them. And as same, like, as friends also, like, I don't respond to them. So I don't have any. Even if you ask me to write a passionate book, I am ready to write if it is for a cause. So I just don't care about anything, anybody. At last, I think that one's decision is actually an ultimate thing. We are just thinking, actually a decision is a small thing. One's decision, or interfering or indulging in one's decision, is a very small thing. No, decision is actually like a very, very, very mighty topic. It is very huge. It's like, if a decision is hindered, it is start of fascism. So I think decision is so. Okay, let's come to my story. Okay, yeah, I don't care about them.
So, Joginder, if I say, like, if family, friends, entire society go against us, but if we have a story that we want to put forth, will that restrict us? Or because, we all know the readership, very less people actually welcome books, or that section of people is very, very tough to find actually, because nowadays young people are into gadgets and we do not find people reading books. This is the fact. But again, when the society, when your family, when your friends, exclude you, do you think that there is a motivation to write books or write such kind of books that society may actually reject?
When Ashfaq was talking, so I got a thought. I think most of us will agree to that, because this breed of people who are here. So Ashfaq, when people will start considering or saying you mad, consider that you're on the right way. Okay. Until and unless nobody is calling you mad, everything is normal. Okay. So
You're
I think
doing
this.
something right.
Right, exactly. So until and unless if nobody is calling you mad, then okay, things are normal. You are doing nothing special. You are just, another another person on the planet. Okay. And coming to this, Mosmi, I had when we are discussing this topic long back, I thought about a book, and I got the, got that idea back in mind when we are talking about this. I published 3 books, and one of the idea was, see, to how to put it, but not in a negative sense. Let's say I am saying it in a very neutral sense. The situation of women in our society is not good at all. Okay, the way our society treats women, okay, whether it's a women's safety, whether it's independence, whether it's feminism, there are lots of things are going on, but the situation is still not right. Okay, we all see it in the news every second day, right? So there is a lot of things to change. Once I thought, how about I write a book from a girl woman point of view. When I say a girl and woman, I mean a girl who starts from the age of 8. Okay, and how she is, how people's opinion, people's view, people's even way of viewing at a girl changes when she is growing up. Okay, and that's the problem. That's really big problem. Okay, this is a very, very young girl, like 8-10 years old. Okay, how people are treating in the society, and the moment she is turning 16, 17, 18, 19, how people in society, around her is looking at her. Okay, even that's a problem. From my point of view, right? How people start looking at her, and from that moment onwards, then she is going into the society. She is meeting lots of people. So lots of things are happening and which are invisible to us. Okay, or you say we all are blind in a way, right? I mean, like today also I was seeing some news and on LinkedIn and social media, there are lots of things coming up, but who are taking kind of steps to bring the change, right? Every one of us might be doing our bits on ground for sure, which is I think our duty. I'm also doing my bits, and but yes, writing a book or doing anything in this context is definitely one bold step. Okay, and my next thing comes is writing or publishing or maybe any form of form, any media form or any way. Maybe it can be even a play on a choraha, right? Even that's one thing. So I think we need to take it to lots and lots of people. That's the main task. Writing is the first one, or publishing is the first one, or whatever form of media. That's the first task. Then second is to take it to people, to spread that voice more and more. And I'm sure that most of us, there is definitely there are definitely people who want to bring a change, right? And people who are thinking and who are considered mad, definitely they are the torch bearers. Okay, and then they have to lead the way. So most welcome to such topics. Okay, and honestly, cover and all that's striking. Everybody think about, okay, what's inside. Okay, and it all depends on from where you are coming, right? It's all here. Like we all live in our minds, as simple as that, right? And how I'm looking at the cover, am I looking at the cover from what perspective, what attitude I'm carrying while I'm looking at the cover? So it all comes from within. What, and it all, the bigger point is what kind of upbringing do I have, what kind of network do I have, what kind of knowledge, and my own attitude, what I'm carrying, where do I want to go in life. It all comes when you see such kind of things in cover. Without knowing Ashfaq, without seeing the back cover, people might get opinion, but that's also one sign, like what kind of leadership do we have. Okay, so I think lots of work to do, and it all will happen step by step, and this is another step. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Ashfaq, for doing it. Yeah, thank
Agnivesh
you.
Mahapatra. Mahapatra sir, I see you writing all genres of poetry and all. Have you ever faced any such criticism by the readers? Because we read you on social media also. Have you ever faced, and if you ever, like, I do not think you have ever, because people read you, but what do you think? Like, have you ever faced, or did it actually stop you from penning down your views?
No, not really. I'm quite have been unlucky in that regard. I have never faced that criticism in that regard. So people coming up to me said, okay, you shouldn't have written that. So maybe that is a good thing for a writer to happen or for a poet to happen. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet with me. So maybe someday it will. But when you are writing something, it's not really what you're trying to say, right? So that's the beauty of writing. So sometimes, if you're just trying to present something as it is in a very raw format, so that it appears gross when the reader reads it. Now that's when the things start coming up. But if you are really presenting things, poetry is itself a very aesthetic kind of art. So you got to keep the aesthetics of poetry intact, which we have to forego when we are going for fiction and a novel. In prose, we tend to forego that aestheticism. And that's when the criticism pours in. Now, if you look at historically, if you look at it, how many novels have been banned, or how many books of fiction have been spoken against because of such bold content? You compare that with poetry, right? How many poems do you remember which have been lambasted for the very same reasons? While poetry, on the contrary, is in fact more bold and has always been more explicit. So, but still, people don't get it. If they don't get it, they don't criticize it. That's the first thing. Do they understand what you're trying to say? If they don't understand, then of course they're not going to say a word about it, and they will just come up to you and say, "Okay, it's nice." Well, I don't know whether they understand what I am trying to write or not. But okay, so that's the beauty of it. So I don't know, if Ashfaq's writing a book, in Ashfaq's work, how many people does Ashfaq has that liberty of keeping things hidden from the reader? No, he doesn't has that. So now he has a responsibility for the reader to understand things which he wants to portray, and in a very sensible manner. I'm sure he has done it. So, and once the writer loses that sensibility, that's when things backfire. Otherwise, you can ban a book, like a book like To Kill a Mockingbird gets banned, comes back, and becomes an all-time classic. So even if you're writing on controversial things, if you have things which need to be said, it's your responsibility to say it right then and there, because the society needs to hear it. So I don't think, maybe it will take time, maybe you will have some opposition, some criticism at the onset, but gradually that fades away and you're accepted, and the work goes on, a long, long way in establishing you as someone who speaks truth to the society, not only to power.
Right, it's time to launch the book. Vedant, when you think about the next book, do you ever feel that yes, passionate stories would be accepted, and you are free enough to write passionate stories, as your stories do have the theme of love, passion, and do you think like passionate stories, you are free to write the deeper passion, whatever you feel to write?
See, I'll be very honest here, since we are talking very about bold topics, about bold subjects in books, so I'll be very honest. We authors, we writers, we have all the freedom to write, anything we want, but we do not have freedom, when it comes to a book being picked by a publisher, a book coming out, in the market. We do not have freedom with that. So if we get that freedom from the publishers, if we get freedom from, these agents, who select these books to publish, we will write such stories, we want to write such stories. But I'll share my 2 cents here. My first book, it had a very critical topic. It talked about male depression. Although it sold a lot of copies, in the international markets as well. But the thing was, it could have done better if I had marketed it differently. So, here, boldness is not an objection, no one would object, having bold stories or, having passionate stories. It's all about, how you market your book, because that's the first impression usually readers get. So if a book is coming out in the market, how would you pick it? So we all have readers here. I can see a lot of screens, with books behind them. So, how do you pick a book? You see the cover page, then you read the blurb, and then after that, you sometime you read about author as well. So that's how you pick a book. So I think it all depends upon the marketing, how you market the book. Even the controversial books like Lolita, like you all must have heard of it and read about it, it gets picked up as well. Even though, it's a book, you will feel nauseated while reading it, the topic it had. It is a classical novel now. Why? Because it was marketed in such way. So it all depends upon the marketing and perspective of the people as well. So if someone is going to in the market, or someone is scrolling the books on the Amazon, how they see it, how they perceive it. So I think I'm a very bold writer. I'm a very vulnerable poet though, but I'm a very bold writer. I want to write bold stories. I have written bold stories as well. My second book talked about child molestation. Also talked about rape as well. But I marketed it differently. I marketed it in a way that it told about the story of a guy who wanted to save the women. So I think it all depends how a reader, or how a person who is buying the book perceives the book. So
Partha,
while we can
Partha, when Vedant speaks about marketing, so what do we actually understand by marketing? We are marketing, we are spreading the news on social media, maybe book reviews, maybe newspapers. Nobody is reading newspapers today. You find that newspapers, they are rejecting even reviews of about articles about books and all, because nobody wants to spend on newspapers today, writing about their books, because they are charging high, but nobody is reading newspaper actually. So when we speak about marketing, your book is very, very bold. All right. It was also in the book fair. But when we speak about marketing, what do we actually mean? What all should, because we are spreading it, we are reviewing it, we are launching it, maybe author interviews would come. But ultimately, how will actually, people know about the book, but why will people buy the book? What is this marketing actually when it comes to literature?
Uh, I think before we get into the journey of writing a book then publishing it, the first thing that I believe should do is that we have to have a face value. I may write a book that is far better than, say, Lord of the Rings, but if nobody knows me, if they don't have, if my face is not known to the world, who am I? I come from a city called Guwahati in a state called Assam in the northeast corner of India. Now, for someone sitting in the western side of the country, I am nobody. It doesn't matter. I mean, how many of us have read in the country have read Okhimodzar Heralhima or have heard about that? But we have seen Bahubali. But Okhimodzar Heralhima is a far better fantasy book than Bahubali is. But again, the author is an unknown commodity to the world. So before we come up with your thing called marketing, actually, I really don't know what marketing of a book is should be like, because I have got no idea. Had I known it, then I would have sold probably more copies. But what I feel is that people don't know me. I'm not talking about the country outside Guwahati. In Assam, people don't know me. Yeah, I may have 4,800 something friends on Facebook, but all of them don't read. So, what I personally feel is that we have to build a PR, we have to build an image of ourselves first. That we are a writer, we write good stuff, we write good stories, we write stories that connect to the people, we write stories that people may love, we may write good poetry. By good poetry, I mean there is something that connects with the people. So if first we can have something like that, then maybe the book that we are writing, maybe the book that we are publishing, maybe the thing that we are coming up with will get more and more visibility. Uh, so that's it. I mean, yeah, we can, I think, should go ahead with the launch. Then we can keep talking about various topics.
And we will launch, but it's good to hear when we speak about,
Yeah, can I add something here about a different thing about
of course.
bold and passionate writing? Sorry, bold and passionate stories. I think most of us, both in the author community as well as the reader community, have a misconception regarding a bold book, a bold story, and a passionate book and a passionate story. If we all have seen a movie called Garam Masala
Yeah.
or Manthan or maybe Machis, these are bold movies. But a movie like Murder or maybe Ashik Banaya Today are passionate movies. So whenever we are talking about boldness, a bold story, it necessarily may not have any intimate or kissing scene or a passionate scene. I mean, my book, the autobiography of a pedophile, is a mixture of both. I have kept the rawness of lovemaking as it is, and the story itself is a bold because it stays, because it touches upon a very serious issue of, first thing, of a pedophile who is a pedophile. Secondly, of somebody coming up with an allegation of sexual misconduct against the person and ruining his life and career. So, for me, that is a bold subject. What mistake that we do, I mean, one more thing, it's not a mistake basically, it's a perception that we as readers, we as common people have whenever we see a photograph like this cover photograph where we show a woman in her undergarments. Well, if that person, as I said, had this cover been of somebody by an author he is known to all, then this question would have not come that it's a bold cover. Because Ashfaq is a debutant author, the question arises. I mean, we all keep on seeing such kind of photographs in all our film magazines and fashion magazine. It's a normal thing. I mean, it's a normal thing. But since we are nobody, since we are not known to the readers, it becomes a hot topic. So that, I mean, this is something that we as authors, we as journalists, we as speakers, we as poet, we as a creative person, we as normal person has to do is to change this perspective, the way people look at things, the way people, I mean, that's a very difficult thing to do, but I mean, there's no harm in trying. Yeah, that's it. I have more to say, but let's first of all do it the launch
Yes,
thing first.
it's time to launch Ashfaq's book. We all have been waiting, since a long time. And Ashfaq generally, he asked me, ma'am, when will you launch my book? I said, let me first find people who actually understands the value of such a book. Can you see the screen? Yes, heartiest congratulations, Ashfaq.
Thank you.
Yes, now I know it is the time we have launched. This is the precious moment. This book is available on Amazon all over the world as ebook, Kindle version, paperback. And this book is also available on Griffin Store. We will share the link. And I request all the viewers who will watch or who are watching to pick the book and know actually what is inside the book. It is not just the cover page. It is the story which you need to look into it. How we are going to see the society and what the author has actually presented and how he has presented. Ashfaq, 3 lines on your book. How will you, I won't say request, how will you welcome the readers today to read your book, Overleap All Constraints?
Read it with open mind. Please judge me. Please judge me. And particularly for the women, throw stones at me if you don't like it.
No one will definitely throw stones. Congratulations, heartiest congratulations. I actually request all our esteemed guests today to speak two lines on finally congratulating Ashfaq and motivating him, because he is a budding author, he is a debut author. We all need to we all need to actually motivate Ashfaq so that he keeps writing. His pen should move on, and he should remain a fearless author throughout his writing journey. Yes, from where, anybody like, Mahapatra sir, Joginder sir, Partha sir, Vedant sir.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Asfaq. And as
Thank you.
Mosami has said, that keep writing, keep coming up with new stories. And yes, I hope that the book reaches audience far beyond than you are expecting it would reach. And the book is welcomed by the readers community. And as you wish that if somebody don't like the book, really wish they come to you and throw stones at you so that it motivates you further.
Great.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yes, Mahapatra sir, how, like, yes, he needs motivation, and publishers like us also need motivation to publish such books, because today I'm also questioned by many, but nobody has, like, if anybody, reads the book, will know what is the content. Right. Yes, Mahapatra sir.
Well, again, a great deal of congratulations to Asfaq on the launch of his book. It's an amazing feeling, right? Only he must understand what he's going through. We all have been there. We have processed those times, and we look forward to reading Asfaq more. And it's an amazing thing to try and write something like this, such bold thing for the author and as well as the publisher to come up with something which is जिसको हम कहते हैं कि लीक से हटके. तो अगर आप इस तरह की चीजों को सामने लाते हैं तो फिर आपको थोड़ा बहुत कहीं ना कहीं लोगों की बातें सुननी पड़ती हैं. सो इट्स ऑल राइट, दे विल कम, बट our critics are the greatest motivators we have. So it's a good thing if somebody comes up to Asfaq and says something about the book, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter, but feedbacks are most welcome. I'd just like to say that Asfaq should continue to write such things, and he shouldn't be putting himself with the responsibility that, okay, I'll only write such things. You are, as an author, free to write anything and everything that comes in front of you and you feel like writing, right? As an author, that's your primary responsibility. So you're not thinking about, okay, I have written about this, so next time I'm going to write another such bold topic. If it comes, well and good, amazing, go for it. But if it doesn't, you don't have to forcibly look for that topic and write about it. And Mosami, you are doing an amazing job. People will say, publishers, because of publishers like you, people like Asfaq and many others out there maybe will be influenced by it and will be motivated. They will cherish this. Okay, there is some publisher, there is someone who heeds to these kind of topics and these kind of books and publishes it. So it's going to be a great journey for both of you together.
Thank you so much. Yes, Vedant.
Congratulations and best wishes once again. I'm wishing this book a great readership.
Thank you so much. Yes, Vedant, how will you motivate a young author?
So I'll quote some lines for you. Like, these have been my favorite lines, whenever I have chosen a book to write. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. So that, I hope, your words can change the world as well. But I'll, give you a disclaimer as well, because, I have been someone, who came up with these topics and, like with these bold topics and topics out of the box. Do not think about sales. For a writer, it can be a milestone, but do not think about sales. Such ideas only comes, when you do not think about, how many people will buy my book, or like who will buy my book. Do not think that. If you start thinking that, you will restrict yourself, you will restrain your words as well. So just keep following your heart, do and write what your heart desires. And I congratulate you on your book. Hope it sells a lot more copies. And to Mosmi as well, a big kudos to you. Congratulations, Mosmi, for motivating us, for motivating, other writers as well, to bring out such stories. And I hope, we together, write such stories as well.
Yes. Yes, Joginder, how will you, like, you all are senior authors to, Ashfaq, so that, he gets motivated and keeps writing. Joginder, what do you have to say today to Ashfaq?
We lot talking about writing books and all. जैसे अग्निवेश जी ने अभी बोला ना कि whatever comes and you keep writing. Okay, that's very important. इसमें when he mentioned this, तो मेरे ना I got in mind प्रेमचंद जी की एक लाइन है. I'm not sure, like आप लोगों ने काफी ने सुना भी होगा कि he has written somewhere ना कि Like for writers, it's our job to write, right? कि मैं मतलब he is considering himself as a like कि मैं एक मजदूर हूँ और लिखना मेरा डेली का काम है, जिस दिन मैं ना लिखूं तो मुझे उस दिन रोटी खाने का हक नहीं है. तो that's how you know you take it responsibility, not responsibility, but that's how writing comes to all of us that naturally, right? And if it's coming that naturally, honestly somewhere we can't stop ourselves to write. Okay, I think isko vardhan mano ya abhishap mano. Okay, it comes in both the ways, and how do you take it? It's all on us. Okay, you can become Pablo Neruda also, or you can become unknown. I won't say nobody is unknown, right? I always say even अभी पहले लोग डायरीज में लिख रहे थे, अभी किताबें ज़्यादा आने लगी, तो आई ऑलवेज से कि जो डायरीज में जो शब्द है ना वो बहुत अनमोल हैं, तो ब्रिंग देम टू लाइट टू पीपल. एंड Ashfaq, about marketing and sales and all these things, like whenever I write anything, yeah, I initiate any initiative, it can be a book, it can be anything. अगर शायद एक इंसान को भी मुझसे कुछ भी थोड़ा भी फायदा हुआ ना, I think that's a success. Okay,
I
so when
hope you understood, Ashfaq.
exactly. So when you're coming out, you're bringing your own words, it's impacting even a single person on the whole planet. I think that's worth, right? That's why the words should come all the time. The again, the show must go on. Okay, so, and the best wishes, Ashfaq, to you, Mosmi, to you too, for bringing such things to life. Okay, and people like you, like this whole breed, I call it. Okay, so I think these are the people who are taking the world forward. Okay, so yeah, kudos to Ashfaq, Mosmi, you, and everybody over here. Amazing work. Yeah, congratulations and thank you. Yeah.
Heartiest congratulations, Ashfaq,
Thank
on
you.
your book. This book, Overleap All Constraints. It's a wonderful cover. It's a wonderful story. Do not miss to read this book. Thank you so much. We will meet once again with another book. And I really, from my corner of my heart, I thank all the esteemed guests. You have taken out time. It was scheduled to be just 35 minutes of the launch, and it crossed 1 hour. We couldn't actually I couldn't catch time because the entire discussion was so interesting. Thank you so much, everyone, and heartiest congratulations, Ashfaq.
Thank you.
Two lines,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank our esteemed guest.
Thank you all, everybody, every senior authors actually. You'll be my inspiration, and I'll try to be connecting with you in LinkedIn or Instagram.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. And have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend, everyone. Thank you so much.